this is, of course, got to do with the Vinesh Phogat case as well. We've been talking about the developments which took place in the Olympics and now the big verdict. Remember, India has appealed to CAS. Harish Salve was a lawyer concerned. Vinesh Phogat verdict, what we're now learning, is going to come in at 9:30 p.m. tonight, India time. This has been a huge appeal that, seeing her disappointment, Vinesh Phogat should at least get to keep the silver medal. I'm going to try and go across to my colleague Ananya Bhatnagar, who has been reporting on the ground. But before I go across to him, the CAS court is where the matter was heard also yesterday. India's appeal has been on multiple grounds that this was not deliberate, this just happens, it's natural that she had a weight gain of 100 grams and therefore fell short of the category. The appeal which India, of course, is making is that we should be allowed to keep the silver medal. Well, that hearing took place yesterday, but what we are expecting, the big verdict to come in at 9:30 p.m. tonight. That's the big verdict which we are looking forward to at the CAS court to deliver the verdict. Let me go across to my colleague Ananya. Ananya, first of all, you have been reporting among the pleas which has gone in from the Indian side. That's one. And second, the verdict at 9:30.
Well, definitely, the time was extended by, in fact, the chairperson of, the Court of Arbitration for, pronouncing this verdict on Vinesh Phogat. And very clearly, by, 6:30 p.m. IS, the Paris time, and 9:30 by tonight in the Indian time, we'll get a verdict from, in fact, the Court of Arbitration for Sports as to whether Vinesh Phogat would be eligible for, in fact, a joint medal at, in fact, the wrestling competition. Very clearly, this is a very, very significant step because, two top lawyers of the country, one, the managing partner of Krida Legal, was arguing for Vinesh Phogat, and Mr. Harish Salve, one of the top legal minds of the country, appeared for Vinesh Phogat at the Court of Arbitration for Sports, and very clearly argued that, the increase in the weight that Vinesh had was nothing because of anything artificial, but was a natural recovery process of the body. Every athlete has a right to replenish its body after a tough tournament, and that's exactly the pitch that has been from the Indian contingent there. But what happens next, whether or not this relief is granted to Vinesh Phogat, is only something that the time can tell us, and the Court of Arbitration of Sports would be pronouncing its verdict at around 9:30 p.m. Today in the evening as per the Indian time. So we'll have to wait and watch as to whether things pan out in India's favor or not, but we'll keep a close track of it. But at this particular point of time, everybody here is holding their own breaths, waiting for a significant and a very, very favorable order for, in fact, Vinesh Phogat.
All right. Thank you very much, Ananya, for getting us those details. We're going to wait for the big verdict to come in at 9:30 and cross our fingers, hoping against hope.